Hello, this is Mike's Hobbies. Today I will be recording my first video on and under the name of Mike's Hobbies. So, by popular demand, mainly because only one person asked me to do anything, but still, by popular demand, I was asked to basically give you a tour of my greenhouse and my garden setup. So I thought, why not? It'd be a bit of fun, seeing as I haven't recorded anything in here for quite some time. So here I have 4 Gardener's Delight, I believe they're called, or Gardener's Wonder tomato plants. So, as you can see, towards the bottom they've got many tomatoes ripening. Now if I move along onto my original potting bench, so here I have some succulent cuttings. Now you notice that these are kept very wet. Now this is because, especially in this greenhouse, it obviously gets very hot and the water goes. So what you need to do is make it a priority with any plants, indoors or outdoors, especially cuttings, that they are kept nice and wet all of the time. So otherwise you're just going to lose plants. If you think about it as kind of blood of the plant, it needs it. If you don't water it, it's not going to grow and it's probably going to die eventually. So here are my cuttings. Now here are some verbena plants which I am going to be bringing on until they're a bit of a larger size, and hopefully next year they will flower. So this is some of my pots. I do have more, but these are my different ones. I've not actually organised them, I have to admit. I have failed at that part. Moving on to my second potting bench. So this one I made a video on. I believe it was called I Built a Bench. So again, kept very wet. Chives, garlic, Virginian stock, a Lamphanthus cutting, and a geranium that is what I used to take cuttings off of. I took a few too many cuttings, I will admit. But back here I have some chilies, 2 different types, and somewhere along in that pot, but I only actually had 1 seed, but it is a lupin. Moving along to my second bed. This is also my largest in a way. I have 2 tomato plants. I don't actually know what these are. I was given them both and the person who gave them me also didn't know. Here I have some sweet corn. As you can see, it's a very healthy, 3 very healthy plants. These back 2 are obviously different varieties to this one. I've had these quite a while, but they've suddenly started growing. In my earlier videos they were about this high on the plant. They've shot up, as you can see. So I believe this one has 2 and that's got 1. Yes, I got all of them off of this one, but I'm leaving it just in case I get some more. Here are my strawberry plants. Now, I should have dug these up really by now. There's not really an excuse, so I'm sorry I haven't dug these up. Hopefully I will have enough time to dig them up by next episode. Moving on to my final little patch. Here I have some, excuse these, here I have some courgettes, 4. I did have 5, but the slugs got 1. And there's not much to tell you about these really. They do have some courgettes forming, but that's about it. There's no excuse for this being left overgrown except for the fact that I've not needed it. Although really I should do it because it's only going to amount to more work later on. But yes, you can all tell me off in the comment section that I've not done this. There is no excuse. I also have this lovely plant that's got a bit of a weed. Wonder what this is. Looks important, but still. So this is a geranium, but it's a scarlet geranium, which is very nice, as you can see from the flowers. These are all old. I should have pulled these off, but I haven't. Okay, much better. I also have two pink pelargoniums at the back here. These are just cuttings. And obviously here, this is the other side of the bench. Moving on to my personal favourite part of the greenhouse. Here I have all of my cactus and succulents. Cacti and succulents. They have all grown a lot, but my favourite growth-wise is probably this one, because I now know what it is. It's a mammillaria, but I didn't before because none of these little bits had come out. They were just small domes. If you look back on some of my videos, I think Cacti Crazy, I should have said something about that in there. I just think it's quite interesting how much it's grown, but this one has had explosive growth, as well as this Opuntia. I got this as a single cutting. But to be honest with you, all of these plants have grown a tremendous amount, and I'm very happy. Back here I have my giant cacti. Not much has happened with this one. And then moving on to the side, I just have a few other plants. So this is my grapevine here, obviously. I kind of just let it grow because every time I cut it back, another piece seems to grow. But here's some grapes. They're not actually quite ready yet, but hopefully in the next day or so they will be. So this is my greenhouse tour done. Let's move on to outside. I have a few plants here. This is a melon in its big pot, which I need to repot. I haven't got around to doing that yet. And here's some other plants that I was given. I was given all of these by my boss, Yvonne. Basically, these weren't watered when I was given them, and they were nearly dead. So, as you can see, I have revived them. Here is my citrus plant. You may remember this from the greenhouse. It doesn't actually have any fruit on it, although I believe, there we go, it's got one trying to form just in there. But it's grown a lot. And then in here, this is my mini greenhouse. As you can see, I have a nice tall crashula in the back. In fact, all of these are, but you may know them as money plants. That's what they're commonly known as. Here I have some other succulents at the front. I do know the name, but I have forgotten for a minute. Now, I'm going to open this up because I'd like to show you a plant that's very special. This one here. It's a very special plant. It's a snake plant, so as you can see it's got a snake pattern. But what makes this one so cool is that when it flowers, the flower actually smells like rotting meat. So, it's a different plant. I also have my British Cactus and Succulent Society entry there. It did actually come first in its category. I have a few other succulents in here, some Echeveria, and that's about it. I also have a mushroom growing kit, but it didn't really work, which was very annoying. But now I think I should show you the rest of my patio. So these are just some potted plants I have. Here are some mustard, I believe. No, Mizuna, sorry, but they're like mustard. French beans here. They've done everything they can. And here are my two runner beans. They have, these poles are 8 foot high, and you can see this one is actually coming down from the top. So they've done a lot of growing. This is probably the favourite thing on my patio. So it's two butternut squash plants, and it's got a lot of fruit forming. Here's the biggest one currently. This is it compared to my hand, so it's not massive, but obviously it will grow. And there's a lot more. Take me a while to point them all out to you. Here are just a few potted plants with lavender in the background, and at the front here are some more verbena. These are all cuttings. Some nice stock down there. That's this one. I don't know what type, but let's just say it's Virginian stock, even though I'm pretty sure it's that. I know it isn't. Have a few more flowers in these other pots. but it's got a nice little level of colour. They seem to constantly flower, which is always a good thing. Here I have some trumpet lilies. There's supposed to be 3, but I was given them way after they were supposed to be planted, so they are very late. But as you can see, this one hasn't quite made it, but these ones have done amazingly well. Here I have a nice arrangement of flowers. I arranged these myself. So in the middle I have some red williams. That's these, not to be confused with sweet williams. And just here I have some more stock, Virginian stock possibly. Begonias on the side there. And a nice rambling rose, which has gone almost to the top of this trellis. Here I have some more begonia, some Virginian stock, and more trellis and a nice 2 climbers actually. I can't remember what they are called for a minute. Clematis, I say clematis. Here I have 6 cyclamen. Now, fun thing about cyclamen is they are a Christmas, well, that time of year plant, Christmas time. But the funny thing about them is they cannot be watered after 11 o'clock, or they should not be watered after 11 o'clock, because they can actually rot very, very easily. These ones are a few weeks old now. Moving to the side, I have some banana mint. Now, funny story about these. A caterpillar, wow, multiple caterpillars overnight came in, because these were lovely big bushy plants, and overnight they came in and ate them all. Not into this potting shed, into my miniature greenhouse, which is why they're now in here. Here I have 3 choicea cuttings and 2 lemon balm. There were a lot more, but the slugs took that much away from them. They were just stumps, there was nothing left of them, so there was no point even trying to let them survive. Here I have some osteo cuttings, osteoporensis I believe, and some more smaller succulent cuttings and some mint cuttings. I also have some decorative grass here. You can split these, by the way. I was going to end this video here, but I thought why not get a little extra footage of one of my favourite ant colonies. So, while this records away, unfortunately you can't see it best, I just realised that. Let me adjust that one moment. I'm sorry, I don't like being unorganised. I don't tend to be. Right. There we go, this is a bit better. So, this is my Camphinotus nicobarensis colony, eating a dead spider. So, as I said, I wanted to talk to you at the end of the video and get this video a little bit longer, because longer videos are always better. Now, without further ado, first of all, I'd like to say, a good friend of mine, Kerno Survival, I believe his channel is. He doesn't have many subscribers, so I know I don't either, but I have a few more than him. We do very similar things. I focus on multiple things. Ants, stick insects, giant African land snails, my dogs, my June buggy, and obviously my garden and my greenhouse. Kerno Survival, I think he does treehouse building, which is something I might do in the future, except den building. I have done a lot of things like this before, but never properly recorded it. So hopefully I might have a video where I'm camping out in one of my little dens that I've made with maybe Kerno Survival. You could join me. So I think you should subscribe to him, because he does treehouse building and gardening. Now he doesn't have, well, he currently doesn't have a greenhouse or a polytunnel or anything like that, closest he has is a conservatory, so he can't have many plants in there either. But he does some very good tutorials. Some of them are a little bit, I suppose you could say silly, but he knows they're silly and he makes them purposely to be silly because, well, it's just funny videos. So I think you should subscribe to him personally. I watch a lot of his videos, and what we do is actually we give each other feedback. So if there's any other people watching these videos, give us feedback. We want it. You can be as harsh as you like, as long as you explain why. By this I mean, you can say something along the lines of, I don't like your channel because, perhaps, I don't know, I upload not enough, or my videos are too long. Tell me, because I'm not a mind reader. And I will read all of your comments, and I will try my best to adjust that and probably give you a shout out in the video. So please don't be shy. I appreciate any feedback I can get. Perhaps you don't have any, but nothing's perfect and everything can always have feedback. So before I ramble on too much longer, I'd like to end this video now. So thank you very much for watching my first video under the name of Mike's Hobbies. I have been Michael, and I will see you again. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.